Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Tuesday night watch talk. I am your host, Bobby Legs, and I'm joined with my a special guest host, my friend Thomas, who's all the way out in the UK.
Hi guys.
And hey, and he's here for a particular reason now. As you guys remember, last week was Watches and Wonders, and over the weekend or late last week, Thomas started posting pictures in the Discord, in the Bible Legs Discord. He's a member, one of the original members of that, and I appreciate that. Oh, he's got some Rolex swag. Yeah,
What's the
very
big?
very nice, very very nice. Hey, but before we get all into that, because Thomas has, he met some great people over there, some interesting people, some watchmakers, legendary watchmakers. He took a ton of photos, and we're gonna pull up the Bobby Legs Discord, and we're gonna go through a lot of pictures. Yeah, a ton of pictures. What do you got on wrist tonight, Thomas?
I got my Panerai, my trusty Panerai. I've been wearing my Milgauss all day, but I put my Panerai on today. So I got my Panerai 352. It's
Yeah,
a trusty.
excellent. Yeah. Well, what are the chances? What are the
I,
chances? I'm wearing my Panerai. I'm wearing my
yeah,
Panerai 176
and
tonight.
I was just at Watches and Wonders, and I was in the Panerai booth, and they're all wearing these T-shirts.
Radiomir. Yeah.
And
Excellent.
all the staff were wearing these T-shirts, and I said, "Where can I get one of these? Can I buy one off you?" And one of the staff sneaked out and got me one. So shout out to shout out to the Panerai staff at Watches and Wonders.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. That's what's cool about going to some of these events, right? You get some cool stuff to take home with you. But before we get into that, let's do a quick shout out to the chat. Say hello
Oh,
to everybody. Rob Mountain Standard Time is here. Hey, James is here. How are you? Maison is here. What's going on? Good to see you. Um, Time Hill Steve is here. Hey, Ajay is here. How are you? Um, Chaz is here. Bruno, what is up? Hey, Deech is here. Good to see you, Deech.
good to see
Um, yeah, Deech is here. BJ's here. How you doing, BJ?
you.
Caliber, what is up? Keith is here. Um, John Page, hello. Hey, Bobby. Scott Tarlow is here. How you doing, Scott? Good to see you as well. Keith, I think I said hello to Keith Ken Spear, all the way from Pittsburgh.
Thank
Kevin S is here.
you.
Um, is the Bobby Legs Discord active? Yeah, it is very, very active. And well, I mean, look, I got to do a better job. I got to be more active in it. It's
Click
just
the join button. Click the
yeah,
join
click the
button.
join button. But Thomas is the man there. A lot of he posts a lot, and so do other people too. I got to get more into it because, and not that I'm not into it. It's just juggling the kids and work. So I'm trying to do a better job with that. Bobby is here from Bobby Watch Medicine is here. Young Excellency, also a member.
Oh yeah.
Um, thank you, Young Excellency. Young Excellency, good to see you. So, chat. If you have any questions for Thomas, we're going to try to tell a story here of how Thomas got to Watches and Wonders. What did he see, and who he met. And if you guys have questions, please feel free put it on the chat. I'll get to it. But I'm going to let Thomas do a lot of the talking now. Thomas, you when did you Wonders starts early last week? When did you decide? Did you decide like midweek that you were going to go, or did you have this planned?
No, well, I'm in a watch group called the
Yeah.
Dublin Watch, an Irish watch group called the Dublin Watch Group. So shout out to the Dublin Watch Group, good guys, and a group of 8 of us, seven of them decided they were going, and I found out that they were going, and one of them invited me to come along, and he'd organised accommodation in Annemasse in France, which was a lot cheaper to stay in
Okay.
France. It was in Geneva, and it's a 20-minute train ride from
Oh,
Geneva. So
okay.
we stayed in Annemasse in France, and yeah, we were buzzing. We were all really looking forward to it, and it was we were so hyped about it. Really,
Oh
really.
yeah, I,
Yeah,
I I can
yeah.
imagine. Now, guys, Thomas is like 6 hours ahead of us, so it's like middle of the night or early in the morning over there. And again, really appreciate Thomas you coming on tonight and doing this. It's great of you to do that. So you're there for how many days? Is the trip?
We flew out on the Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there late at night on Friday night. We got a transfer taxi to Annemasse. Then we woke up early in the morning and set off Watches and Wonders just for the Saturday. We only had a ticket for the Saturday. Spent the day there, and then I was leaving late on Sunday. I was flying out back to England on Sunday at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah,
I had a few things to do. So I went to another show, which was the AHCI show, which is the Academy Horology Day Creators Independent Show, and I met a lot of independent watchmakers, some
sure.
amazing names, some amazing names. I'll just quickly roll off: Sven Anderson, Hajime Asoka, Konstantin Sheikh, and Vini Holter, Ludovic Ballois, Bernard Lederer, Vincent Calabrese, Stefan Kadoki.
Mm,
Just amazing to meet those people in person, handle their watches,
yeah,
talk to them about them, and yeah, just it was almost better than Watches and Wonders. Just a much more intimate sort of gathering where you could really. Watches and Wonders was just a massive, a huge expo of brands and thousands of people,
right,
uh, and yeah, just to see these people. I mean, here we have Sebastian Nash Nashka Nashka, I think, and he's a clockmaker, and he makes these amazing clocks. Yeah, he makes.
wow. This almost looks like the Eiffel Tower here. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
where
he
he.
does. He says his inspiration comes from motor racing, and the racing cars, and he he that inspired him to make that clock. But I said to him, it looks like the Eiffel Tower, and he said he gets that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, so let's scroll down here, and these are very very interesting timepieces. That I guess you would call these desk clocks, Thomas, or
Yeah, that one had racehorses on the front, and
oh, I see that right here. Yeah, sure.
yeah, it had racehorses on the front. The turret of the tower was the minutes. Uh, is the turret of the tower is
Uh-huh.
it rotates and is the minutes. The
Yeah,
front is the hours. A
right,
really interesting mechanism that doesn't display Arabic numerals or Roman numerals, but just somehow tells the time, tells the hours. And then you have these racehorses on the front,
right
which
here. Yeah,
are automated and run across. It's fantastic stuff. It's just amazing.
very cool. Let's scroll down. Let's see some wristwatches here,
Sylvain
and and
Pinot, yeah,
so tell me some of these watches that you were looking at here. Tell me a little bit about these guys.
well, Sylvain Pinot wasn't there,
Mm-hmm.
but his watch was on display. Uh, yeah, amazing watches again.
Yeah.
Another
Yep.
independent. Um, this man was amazing. Sven Anderson. He customized the backs. He did.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He, he did.
I'm gonna
He did.
scroll up through that quickly, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish your thought.
he did. He did the customization. He did all automated customizations, animated customizations on the back of Constantine Shaken's Joker watches, and
Wow,
um, so he did a collaboration with Constantine Shaken. So
that's interesting. Very cool.
yeah,
Wow. So Constantine Chicken, I love his stuff.
uh, he's
Um,
he's an amazing guy to talk to. Really laid back, really nice, really open to talk to, and Yeah, and below you see some of Sven Anderson's watches, the World Times,
Yeah,
um, the World Timer watches, and with amazing dials on the inside, and um, yeah, amazing pattern dials. Just, just, just amazing stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so at this point, when you're taking a look at these, is there anything that's really kind of sticking out to you that you're just
This
blown away by?
this one, the Hajime Asoka. I forgot what it's called. It's
Oh, let me get that.
Tor- the Tourbillon Noir, I think it's
Okay.
called. And the Hajime Asoka, one of Japan's leading watchmakers. Um, Fascinating stuff. Just a 37 millimeter dress watch. But Hajime is Asoka-san. Um, yeah, just amazing stuff. He made a watch called the Tsunami, and the hands are very similar to
Oh,
the Tsunami that he made.
very, very cool. Um, Scrolling down here, D Kendo.
And
I, I-
David
yeah,
Kando, yeah,
super interesting
yeah,
pieces here. I mean, this is like far out there, right? I mean, I
yeah,
love this
right
kind of
on there,
stuff.
right on
Uh,
there, yeah.
but okay, so now we got a couple of Monin watches here.
And then he wasn't there on the Sunday, but he was there on the Saturday, and Philip Dufour even attended on the
Oh,
Saturday.
wow,
But I missed him. I missed him on the Saturday, but he was there on the Saturday. Um, but yeah, Vislainen. Uh, I met Carrie at a watch show in London before.
yeah, yeah. I believe he was. I mean, I'm 100% sure he was at Watch Time in New York. I think I'm it was a while ago, and I've met so many people there, and I believe he was on there, and it seemed like he was a great guy, really, um, very talkative,
Yeah,
and loved talking about watches, and it just almost kind of like it was almost like kind of like meeting your heroes, right? You know what I mean? And it was very, 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 very cool, very, very cool.
so
So
here we have the Vini Halter Deep Space Tourbillon, and he was such an eccentric man. He's so hyper. He was telling me about this Deep Space Tourbillon and how has actually been into space on an astronaut's wrist,
oh, it's
and
amazing.
how he
Wow.
was really into Star Trek, and he was really hyped about how that watch went into space. And
That's amazing. That's amazing. Look at this piece. Wow, that's
yes, the
bananas.
Viennese halter
Wow.
piece, just
Oof.
bananas.
And is
That's
this a is this another halter?
that's another halter, yeah.
Looks very similar to a breguet, right? Like a tradition,
Very
Um,
overworked, yeah.
yeah. Beautiful, beautiful looking watch. Another Chaikin here.
That's
That joke is.
that's the latest shaken that is made. That's
Oof.
the very latest one. 38,000 euros. That one.
Wow.
So it's a lot.
Wow. And there's this is the tiger here. Yep.
Either tiger or a lion's face. I'm
Right,
not
right,
sure
right, right.
what that one.
Yeah, yeah. It may be a lion. I see that there's a little antelope in there in his mouth. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could be a
Um,
lion. I think.
could be a lion. Yeah. Um,
Big Balward next. I love his upside down watch. The
oh yeah, yeah. Me too. Me too. And they flip, right? The
yeah,
whatever hour it's on, it flips. That's
yeah.
so cool.
It's a retrograde minutes, and then the hours flip upside down. The hours turn the right way around from being upside down,
Yeah.
and yeah, amazing. And there's another one of the same type, but with Eastern Arabic
Hmm.
numerals, and another one of his watches below the black dial. Um,
And now we're getting to Lederer, Bernard Lederer.
Leather, yeah, he had two escapements in this watch, and
Hmm.
he had two second dials. The seconds went in opposite directions, and
Oh.
so one ticked one way, and then another ticked another way until they. And he said it made the escapement more precise, made the watch uh, mechanism more precise and more
Mm.
accurate. It was fascinating to talk to him about that. He explained it really well, and yeah, just to meet these watchmakers is just so enlightening and so
Absolutely.
educational.
Yeah.
Just the way they explain with their watches is just amazing.
Whole Milk saying the lion's face closed tonight with the eyes, maybe. KR Joy is here. How you doing, KR?
Like
Good to see you. Um, let's keep going. Is this a good pace for you, Thomas? Talking through
yeah,
the
go,
watches.
go.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, sounds good. So
yeah.
more Lurderer here.
Federer.
Look at that movement. Wow. Now we get into a Chinese watchmaker here, Ling Yonghua. Um,
Yeah, LYH. Yeah, I mean, I'd never heard of him, but just shows that people diss Chinese watches a lot of the time, but
right.
just shows there's amazing stuff coming out of China.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
yeah,
I, I mean, I'm sure. Look, I mean, like, yes, a lot of stuff gets. I think the mass-produced stuff gets really
yeah,
dissed hard with the Chinese. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there was very highly skilled watchmaking going on in China. Maybe not at the level of the Swiss or the proficiency as a Swiss, but I mean, I'm sure it's up there. Why not? Why? I mean,
horology.
there's 1.5 billion people over there, right? I mean, it's
Yeah, absolutely horology. Yeah,
yeah. Um, great, great looking micro rotor there, and movement side to that one. Very, very good looking here. Um,
another
is
one
this
of
another
his
one of his watches?
record player on. And
Oh yeah, that's right. There you go. Yeah, sure, sure.
he's got musical notes on the back on the movement.
On the movement side. Oh yeah, very, very cool. Very, very creative. Um,
And these ones, I can't remember who they were by. These ones, but I just took pictures. And, I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember who they're by, but
Uh, is this Calabrese, Vincent Calabrese? I feel like this is something that he would do with um, the hour on the dial right here, like that. Who's this, Thomas?
I'm
Do you
not
know?
too sure. I can't remember. I didn't see much in Vincent Calabrese's
Okay,
stand. He was
okay.
just there by himself talking, and
Oh,
uh,
and so now we get into Kadoki, and so
okay,
you saw the new one, right? The Kadoki 3. Um,
this Stefan Kaduki had this octopus dial watch.
oh yeah, yeah, the Kadokopus. Yeah, I've seen that in person as well. Um, very, very interesting. A little hard to read, right?
Yeah,
But very, very, um, very talented engraving there.
he
An
he he
engraver.
was he was very hungover from the Saturday night, so he was sat back, and his wife was doing all the explaining, and I could speak with him, and she said, "Oh, he's very hungover,"
Yeah,
and
yeah. Well, even Stefan Kadoki deserves to party a little bit.
yeah,
So this is
absolutely.
so this is the Kadoki 3. Now, what did you think of this in person? Do you recall, Thomas? I know you saw a
It
lot
looks
of watches.
fascinating. I love watches with these different sort of time telling
Mm,
styles, sort of jump power watches, things like that,
yeah.
and I love this sort of design. I thought it was great. Yeah, really
Uh,
great.
hey JJ, Junior Johnson, what's up? How you doing? Mr.
Yeah,
Casio, those Kadoki Octopus's watches are insane and an insane way of incinerating money. Well,
yeah.
look, I mean,
Um,
it's not going to be your only watch in your collection, right? This is like your fifth. this is like your 15th watch in the collection,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know.
absolutely.
But I
But
mean, I've seen that in person. It's an amazing. It's amazing.
I mean,
But for
they're
me,
good. They're
yeah,
quite well priced, Loki's. I mean, they're saying they're 8,000 euros. I
yeah,
mean, so
yeah.
they're not as expensive as some of them.
No, no, it's not. It's relatively affordable. As affordable as an $8,000 watch could be. I mean, or €8,000 watch is. I understand how that may sound, but for the level of craftsmanship and watchmaking here, I
Absolutely,
mean, it's good value for sure. Oops,
absolutely.
I lost that screen. Let me get that back up here. Sorry, Thomas. My apologies. Okay. Oh, I did it again, I think. Okay. Is my screen still up, Thomas?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. Yeah,
Now we're moving over here to Ludek Serin. Serin, is that how
yeah.
you say it?
So this is a watchmaker. He's from Czechoslovakia, and he was telling me
Oh,
he
wow.
he doesn't make watches regularly. He just makes them to order. And he said this took him 4 years to make.
Holy cow.
And
Wow, that
he's got a circular rotor, which you can't see. It's the shape of it's the shape of the case, and it just swings around at the bottom of the case or around the case. So you can't actually see a rotor,
yeah.
or mechanism. The mechanism moves round as the watch ticks. So every 8 hours, it moves around and makes a full rotation. So it's another fascinating mechanism.
Dib, I am not ignoring you. I'm just trying to get through and see some of these amazing photos of amazing watches from Watches and Wonders. Some of the stuff that we don't see regularly on monochrome per se, right? When do we get to see a flipper's pit and Bobby? Well, flipper's pit is an interesting, might be an interesting thread, right? And Thomas, I don't know if you know conceptually what the flipper's pit is about. It's just
Yeah,
like advice.
yeah.
It's what advice if you want to flip something is it and you try to get advice from people. So maybe that I'll add that um,
Someday,
tip. Why not?
someday.
Why not? Okay, I'm always open for suggestion. Um, and then here you got here some Patek. Wow,
Yeah,
look at this thing.
I mean, the Patek stand, watches and wonders. The Patek stand, especially, just smelt of money.
Yeah,
It just the whole Patek stand was just
yeah,
gold, diamonds,
yeah.
emeralds,
Wow, look at that thing.
sapphires. It just and to see the Grandmaster chime
Yeah.
in person, there were several of them. White gold, diamond encrusted, and to actually see the Grandmaster chime in person was amazing. It was just an amazing watch, you know.
Here's the new minute repeater. That
Yeah,
is a beauty as well.
beautiful dial that.
Look at that dial. Wow. The rose gold ladies,
Yeah,
Calatrava,
ladies was 76 diamonds around the bezel. Yeah,
skeletonized a minute repeater there. Um, here's the new Calatrava, right? Little you know a little non-expected. I mean, I didn't expect this kind of thing from Patek, but it looks very sporty. You know.
yeah. There's the yellow, blue, or red that
Mhm.
version. So
Yeah, very cool.
I mean, no, I say just smells of money, Patek. Look at this sort of, in diamond encrusted.
uh, that's funny. Caliber, he's not a fan of those jewel encrusted Pateks.
Yeah,
It's a little much, right? It's a little much,
it
but
is.
you
There's
know,
a
it's
market.
just
There's a
there's a
market for
market.
them. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a world time minute repeater here. Um,
Steamboat on Lake Geneva, the Cloisonné dial. Yeah,
wow.
I mean that's a minute repeats the world time. So lovely, lovely dial. That.
I love these painted dials. Is that enamel in the middle there? Are they painting on
Yeah,
enamel? Yeah,
I believe it is. Yeah.
yeah, beautiful. Got some aquanauts here, looking very good.
chronographs in white gold.
Oh yeah, yeah, very very nice. Man, I don't know. Never paid any mind to an Aquanaut before, but I'm starting to like them a little bit more. I mean, not that I could ever afford them, but I'm kind of digging them.
Super
Another,
sonnery,
yeah,
super sonnery, yeah.
just another beauty here. What was your favorite Patek release? Did you see? Which one really spoke to you?
I love the blue minute repeater that the blue
Yeah,
diamond
yep,
just passed.
yep.
That was gorgeous, and just to actually see a Grandmaster chime. I mean, you see them
Mm-hmm.
on people like Jay-Z's wrists, and rappers and people like that, the film stars, and it, it's you think you'll never ever see one, but to actually see one is
Yeah, in
really
person. Yeah,
person
yeah.
really nice,
Oh,
really nice.
yeah. I mean, look, I mean, when we went to a group of us went to Watchbox back in April of last year. I mean, some of the watches. I mean, we saw. I saw. A couple of Richard Meals. I saw a couple of Deep Bethunes. Some Roger Dubuis amongst other watches, and these are watches that were just like all timers. You know what I mean? And to see them in person, right? And handle them. It was definitely a treat. Chaz changing my name to Bobby Loves Paddock. His own saying, I'm not a fan of the jewel encrusted either. About the limit of my diamond tolerance would be diamond batons. Um, okay, let's keep going. Um, the Pilot's Chrono Travel Time, very cool looking watch. Um, like that very much. Here's another college travel. This is the one I really, really like. This
24 hour
20 hour. Yeah, yeah. There's
travel.
something about this one, Thomas. There's something about this one, the way the hours are displayed, that just really speaks to me. And it looks like it's probably a hard. It looks like it's a little bit difficult to tell the time,
Yeah,
but
very interesting. I mean, you got 12 at the top, but then you got 24 at the bottom.
yeah, 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 yeah.
What's going on? I mean,
Ooh, this one was one of my favorites. I
the
love this.
lunar,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
lunar calendar. Yeah, I mean,
just beautiful. The Grandmaster chime in white gold. Another lovely salmon dial chronograph. That classic Patek chronograph there. Um, yeah, Kevin's busting my chops here now. Bobby's a mid-tier Patek guy now. Yeah, I wish. I wish, Kevin. I wish. Um, and the Goldish Dial World Timer chronograph. Now, some more Patek. Um,
diamond encrusted. Oh,
the diamond
oh,
encrusted one.
oh,
This
oh.
is another beauty, right? Uh,
Minute repeated calendar. Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to read the time on that one, to be honest with
yeah,
you.
I think I agree. Chrono Calendar, Moon Phase, another beauty.
I
Um,
don't know what this one does.
what is that's a
I
little too
don't know
much.
what it does. I can't tell the time on that one at
Yeah.
all.
Man. Wow. Older skeletonized gold pieces. Um, some Nautilus here.
I'm not a fan of the Nautilus myself, to be honest with you, but I've never seen so many Nautiluses. It's the kind of place you will only see Nautiluses.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so I had like about 10 of them in a row,
Wow.
and
Look at this one.
oh, oh no,
Is
oh,
that an Invicta?
oh.
Yeah, it's a little out there, right?
Too much. So many gold and diamond encrusted pieces there. I mean, by brands like Chopard,
Mm,
Alpine Eagle, so tons of diamonds over them. Hublot, tons of diamonds.
wow.
Um, Chanel, tons of diamonds. Patek, tons of diamonds. I mean, like I say, Watches and Wonders is, and in Switzerland, when I got off the plane, and the first thing you see is a huge Rolex clock hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
Loads of Rolex clocks, line after line. And the adverts in the airport were just Richard Mille, Richard Mille, Richard Mille,
yeah,
Richard Mille.
yeah.
Then Breguet, Beauvais,
Right.
Patek Philippe, and all these billboards just lining the corridors in the airport. And you just
I
think, this place is made of money,
yeah,
you
I
know.
imagine if you're, and I could be totally wrong, but if you're Swiss, like you must be so desensitized to any of this stuff, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like, oh, you diamond encrusted Patek, yeah. I mean, I see that like every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bananas. Um, some Rolex here, the world timers, um,
That's
some
the
deep,
deep sea challenge in the middle. There's
yeah. Ooh, and
this
here's
this
the,
one I really like. This one, the new Yachtmaster Titanium.
yeah.
I mean, this for me is how a modern day Submariner should look. It's
Okay.
a Submariner Mark II, I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Submariner 2.0. Um, I love the raised indices on the bezel. Yeah,
Yeah.
really like that. I really like that.
I mean, I'm saying I prefer the Aquanaut. Never likely to own one of those. Besides, if I had my pennies, I'd be in the Longa category first. Um,
Absolutely.
Jim T saying, all I can say is there must be a demand for these ultra high end watches. There must be. There must
Yeah.
be, absolutely. Key saying, Rolex, finally some watches for the boys, right? Compared to like everything that we're seeing. Uh, that's awesome. Uh, Junior Johnson, put a video of you rapping in the Discord, Chaz. I guess Chaz is gonna start a new rap career. Hopefully, he does that first and the Bobby Legs Discord. Um, okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah,
So
platinum.
no, the first time they've done an open case back
Yeah.
on the Platinum Daytona. Um, yeah, the new GMTs in
Mm-hmm.
yellow gold and two tone. First two tone GMT, I think.
Yeah.
The Sprite,
Uh,
which is it's not a new release. The Sprite that's last year's news.
right, right, right. I saw
Right.
one. I saw. Yeah, it's old news. I saw one in the case this weekend actually. Um, oh, and then we have some of these day dates here.
Yeah, the Carillion Orange, the
Yep.
Green Adventurine, which sparkled like anything, looked really nice, and the um, I think is the blue one is I'm trying to remember what material that's made of. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember now. Um, but the orange one was lovely. The
Yeah.
Carillion orange, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Kevin. We know the there's been a couple of two tones before.
Oh,
Uh,
right. That's my
1908 collection.
yeah.
Uh,
Interesting.
what did you see?
1016.
Seeing these in person, what were your thoughts?
I really like them. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
a 1016 dial on a dress watch. The white
Mm-hmm.
gold, yellow gold. I prefer the white gold, and
Yep.
a lot of money to buy. A lot of money. I think they're about $17,000, aren't they? And
Mm,
this is the kind of thing that you'd probably have to buy to get yourself a Daytona. You'd
gotcha.
have to buy these first at your Rolex AD to get into a Daytona on.
I wonder though. I wonder though, Thomas, if this is gonna if this changes. I mean, if finally Rolex hits pay dirt with these kind of dressier pieces, um, because of the huge demand for their sports watches the last couple of years. If it finally trickles down to the dress watches, and we see a big demand
I
for them,
I
I'd be
don't think
interested to see.
I don't think we'll see a big demand. I mean, there's so many other dress watches you can get for
No, very
$17,000,
very
aren't there?
true. Very,
So many
very,
nice. You can get into a Langer for that money. I
no,
mean, you
no,
can.
absolutely. And I think for us like watch collectors, we know that. But I think like maybe somebody who's not knee deep into the hobby like we are, or you know what I mean, or waist deep into the hobby, where this may be something that if they go to a Rolex AD and they're thinking, oh, I'm just thinking, sports watch. I'm not really that into watches. I just want to have something to put on my wrist that shows, some sort of kind of like, bling or whatever. Like, maybe they see the dress watch and be like, hey, I can roll with that too. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking here. But we'll see. I mean, time will tell, right? Um, okay, now you gotta let me know what you thought about these in person.
They look really nice in person, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Not something I would wear. It's if you wear one of these, notice it in England anyway. You
Hmm.
immediately notice that's a Rolex, and
Yeah.
you'd be targeted, and it'd be stolen off you.
Mm.
Um, it screams Rolex.
Yeah.
The people
Interesting.
in the know would know that this is a Rolex straight away. Um, but I quite like the design. I mean, I was down on the list for a yellow one of the yellow 36 OPs.
Yeah.
Um, but they got discontinued. Um, but it's a fun design. I can see women really liking it. Um, I don't know whether it's more of a men's watch or more women's watch. Um, I think more women's watch, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Uh,
I understood. James is saying I would love to make it to a watch show one of these days. James, if well, try to make it to watch time in New York. I mean,
yeah,
I know that's not you're not on that coast, but I know sometimes you visit New York. Um, we'll be there. We'll be there. Chaz saying neck deep, Bobby Legs. We passed knee deep a long time ago. Very, very true. Kevin S saying those 1908s will have limited demand. I think they're 22K in the US.
right.
Okay. That looks like what happened to me when I accidentally robbed the bank and I blew up 5 blocks later. Okay, all right. Moving quite along. Thanks, Paul. Um, and there you go, closer pictures indeed. Tudors, what you
The
think?
Lean GMT, really nice, really nice. It's the original. It's the closest you'll get to one of the Pan Am GMTs.
Yeah,
The were made in 1958. The Albino GMT, and it's going to be a winner. It's going to be a big seller. That I think,
yeah,
really big seller. Yeah,
yeah. I think it looks good. I really do, as
yeah.
well as these the newer
You
41.
The new 41, especially on the Jubilee, looks
Yeah,
great. Yeah, it looks really good on the Jubilee. Really nice.
and here's some other black bays.
Leeds, yeah,
Moving
nice.
over to LUC Chapard. Um,
Nice
Beautiful
watches.
watches. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, really impressed with those. A lot of Tourbillons.
Got a little Year of the Rabbit here. Um, just good looking watch, and they make some beautiful women's watches too. Just
Yeah,
totally out
absolutely.
there.
I mean, the stand I was most impressed with was Van Cleef and Arpels. I haven't posted any
Mm,
watches of them yet, but they were stunning. Just they
yeah, they
made
are stunning, aren't they?
necklaces with watches on the end. They made uh, just just amazing stuff. Van Cleef and Arpels.
Yeah.
That was
Now,
the
what do you
stand.
what do you make of the Alpine Eagle here?
These gold ones are just not my deal at
Yeah,
all. But I really love the salmon dial one. I really like the Alpine Eagle as a
yeah.
watch. But
I'm.
these
It's growing on me too. I gotta
these
say, it's growing on me.
gold ones just too much. I
Yeah,
like this perpetual chrono that you just passed, the perpetual calendar chronograph.
yeah.
That's a nice one from them.
Wow, wow. Um, some Milli Miglia. I love these. I think they're cool. I think they're. I haven't seen a million ago that I haven't really liked, and it's my little secret that I've kept. I like them. um, some Bell and Rosses here.
an interesting one. The orange one that you just passed. There's a carbon one made of 7 layers. It was made of carbon, titanium, a
Mm,
rubber
mm.
compound, and it was 7 layers all pressed together. And they wanted about 10,000 euros for it though, and it's using a kinetic movement, and it's too much money. Too much money. It's not. They've rounded off the edges, so it's
Yeah.
not really Bell and Ross.
Right.
And the
Right.
phantom below, that's illegible. It's got no loom. It's totally illegible. But
Paul likes those Mille Miglias too, and so does Kevin. All right, moving along here.
no, football watches,
What was that? Football watches?
footballers' watches.
Yeah, yeah, footballers watches. Yeah, yeah, they love the Hublot, huh? Big
I,
band. Yep.
I like the square bang that they've brought out. This the one in the middle.
Yeah.
I quite like the shape of that. It's got more definition, more rectangular watch.
Up
Um,
here, you got a closer pick here. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
nearest
Thinking
I
about
get to
Hublot.
like again a lot
Oh
of bling
yeah.
out Hublot,
Yeah.
not a deal. These were nice. These
Okay. Okay. I'm glad we're getting here because I
yeah,
know a lot of people slam these. A lot of people I know didn't do not like them. How do they? They look great in person.
really nice. Yeah,
Mm.
the left one on the left, time only, looks great, and the chronograph looks nice as well. The even nicer in DLC in the next photo. Um,
Mm.
I'd much rather have that, the DLC version. Um,
Okay. Okay.
really, really nice. Really
Y-
nice.
Yeah, I like that chrono. Chrono looks great. And then we have a skeletonized DLC Defy. I'm not a big fan of these retro inspired Defies.
No,
Maybe, yeah.
me neither, really.
Um,
Interesting. Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm not
Okay.
huge about classic.
Okay. And this one. So you saw the Kermit, the
Yeah,
Oris Kermit in person, huh?
they're 3,750 euros for this for
Mm,
Pro Pilot X with Kermit the Frog on it, and it's a bit of
mm,
a gimmick. It's a
yeah.
novelty. It's fun if you're into Kermit the Frog, but a bit gimmicky. It's not really my thing.
So
I
one of these
love the
constant force tourbillons, huh?
Odo Constant Force Serbian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean I've seen this already at Watch a Pro Salon in
Yeah.
UK, and it's a magnificent watch. It's
Yeah.
yeah, Grand Seiko doing their top thing.
Yep. Yep.
I've got a new chronograph from Grand Seiko here, GMT chronograph. Um, and then just below the new Grand Seiko Diver, which has got a
Oh
lovely,
wow.
lovely textured dial, really nice textured dial and blue bezel to it. Um,
Wow.
it's really
Beautiful dial.
nice.
Got some Carreras here.
It's the 60th anniversary of the Carrera, so they're pushing the boat out and launching a few Carreras. Um, Hi,
Very,
John.
very.
How are you doing, JCB? Good to see you, my friend. And the Monza, that's a carbon Monza.
Yep.
Uh, yeah.
Ferdinand Bertude.
Oh, my favorite brand. One of my favorite brands,
Oh.
Ferdinand. But fortunately, the photographs weren't very good. But yeah, I love Ferdinand too. Love the stuff they do. The FB 2, I think it is the one below.
Mm-hmm.
That one, yeah. That's just a stunning watch. Fusain
Wow.
Che, um, Tourbillon. It's got a pillar case. It's just got everything in it. But you're talking 250,000 for that one.
Some Groenfelds here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I met Bart Gronfeld, and he showed me the chronograph that they made, and Um, yeah, just amazing watches.
Wow.
Yeah, you should. It's got a quick, a slow second, slow second.
Hand?
No,
Or
slow second reset.
oh, so
There's
yeah.
back, and then it slowly goes back rather than when you reset a second hand on a chronograph. Rather than it flipping back really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
it goes back slowly and quite
Ah,
elegantly, and there's the movement to it.
that's
The
unbelievable.
Ferdinand, that's the Laurent Ferrier Sport also. Um, an integrated bracelet with Laurent Ferrier. But I love the Galley Square on the right here.
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah. This beautiful watch.
cool
Wow.
watch. Yeah, I really like that one.
I love Laurent Ferrier. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Now we move to Chapek, and we've seen some Chapeks here.
Yeah, lots
Uh,
of skeletonized Chapex. I was surprised by this. There's a
yeah,
lot of skeletonized Chapex. Um, really interested to see that.
yeah. We saw a lot of Chapek in watch time in New York as well. Um, Incredible, incredible, beautiful watches. Moving quite along here. Let's see here. Some little Cyrus watches here, having a little fun.
Yeah, Cyrus, they got the twin chronograph, the
Yep.
Clepis dice. Um, it's got one chronograph hand starts at the bottom and one starts at the top, so you
Okay.
can time two things.
Yep. The blue and the red here. Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah,
Yeah. Very cool.
and that's John Francois Mojon. That's his brand.
Okay. And then we have some Roger Dubuis.
Yeah, Roger Duby, not my thing.
Yeah.
Very the Excalibur, very,
Very out there,
uh,
right?
very out there.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of Roger Duby myself. Parmigiani I like. I mean, Amin didn't like this one.
Yeah.
He was a bit pointless, but I didn't see this actually function. But I love the Tonda PF. Um,
Mm.
the
Mm-hmm.
like Marcus was saying on your stream before,
Yeah.
the original Tonda PF is just brilliant. It's a class watch. So
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful watches for sure. Then we get a little Longa here.
some
Um,
beautiful, yeah,
mhm. Very, very cool.
some really nice watches.
Yeah, yeah, some Ziteworks here. And then
Yeah,
and
onto
this
the
is
new
new
chronograph.
Odysseus. Yep.
Not a fan of this, to be honest with you. I don't like the black dial they've done in the red second hand, and I much prefer the titanium Odysseus with a it's like a almost a green dial, and the white gold Odysseus and the original Odysseus, the white gold one on a leather strap. Um, Kevin S. Well, what I've got my name down for an Explorer 2. Um, and also I've got a friend who's got one of the Irish watch group I went with. He's got a watch brand himself called Siderius Watches. I'd like to buy one of his pieces. Yeah, this titanium one is gorgeous, I think. Um, and the white gold one on the leather strap.
Yep. So Thomas, I mean, I know, man, it's almost like 50 minutes into the show, and I want to talk some more about some of the people that you met. And maybe we can finish this at another time. Going through all the watches. I mean, you took so many pictures, and really, really appreciate you posting it on the Discord channel because I'm almost like living vicariously through you. I was scrolling through these today, and I was just like, man, I love going to these events. What watchmaker? And I know you met some. Um,
Yeah.
which watchmaker did you walk away from and thought to yourself, man, that's a very interesting fellow there, and I gotta, if I can move heaven and earth, I'm getting one of his watches or her watches. Was there anybody who stuck out like that for you?
Bart Gronfeld at Watch Time was just amazing. He was so friendly. He explained so much about how he'd worked at different companies, and he'd worked at Breitling. He'd worked at I'm trying to remember some of the other companies he'd worked at. Um, but he was an inspiration.
Yeah.
Grunfeld. Um, Vianney Halter was just amazing. He was just so enthusiastic, full of life,
Mm,
uh, full of energy. Um, he he exuded enthusiasm, and um, yeah, he was just an inspiration. But
yeah.
there's no way I could afford his watches.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh, or Grodfeld. I mean, I couldn't
Yeah.
afford the watch. Um, but yeah, Vini Halter was just such a special man. Um, uh, all the people at the event on the independent event on the Sunday,
Hmm.
Bernard Lederer, Sven Anderson, um, uh, I'm trying to remember his name. Ludwig Balward, he's amazing. Vincent Calabresi, he was amazing. He's been in the industry he's been making watches for 60 years now.
Right.
And, he's one of the original independents.
Hmm.
And he was just an inspiration. And, to think he's one of the original independents, been at it for 60 years now.
Yeah.
And just it takes your breath away. These people are so passionate and
Sure.
so committed to um, their passion for horology, and
Yeah.
just mind blowing. Yeah,
Yeah.
really,
For sure.
really
For
was.
sure. I walked away from watch time feeling that way after meeting a couple of the watchmakers there, and and it's just it's a different level, right? I mean, there's just a different level of understanding there, and talent, and it's almost like I'm happy for them. I'm happy that this is their time, right? The last couple years, at least for
Yeah,
me, noticing independent watchmakers, and I feel like it's kind of that part of the industry has really, really taken off. Now we'll see how long that lasts. Um, Economic conditions obviously are at play here, and these watches, are a lot of these independent watchmakers. I mean, the watches are pretty expensive, and if you're not in that top tier, then I think you have like a little bit of a harder time. Um, may have a hard time surviving all this. Anyway, let's not get into that per se,
yeah.
but
I mean,
there's a lot of talent out there.
Mark
Yeah.
Gronfeld was saying that. He was saying, a few years ago, he was selling one watch a year, two watches a year. But
Wow.
now it's just skyrocketed, and he's
Yeah.
selling. It's got waiting lists. So it just shows you now is the golden age of watchmaking. It
Yeah.
really is, and
For
you know,
sure. Cabby not liking the design of the Odysseus. James saying that he would take it off that bracelet. I hate how the first leg flares out. Match the contour of the lug flank. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Odysseus, like it wasn't really my favorite thing when it came out. It's growing on me now. My good friend Bobby has one on rubber, and it looks amazing.
white
Um,
white
White
gold.
gold, yeah, the white gold one.
Hey, great watch, Bobby K.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Um, and so then you wrap it up, right, and you get home. You kind of like you're home now, and you're like, oh man. I know, like when I've gone away for on a great trip and I get home, I get like sad. and I'm like, oh man, I wish I was back there. Is any kind of those feelings that you wish you were back there in the middle of it all?
I was spending too much money, just eating and drinking and
Yeah,
buying food, and it was so expensive, and just
yeah,
getting
yeah,
a taxi, it's just it's three times the amount that you pay for a taxi over here. It's
yeah, yeah. I
expensive stuff. And and people are saying, "Oh, why don't you come to watch time, sell a watch, and come to watch time?" But I'm coming round to the idea. If anybody in the chat is thinking, "Oh, I'd love to go to a watch show," I would encourage you
mm,
sell one of your watches
mm-hmm.
and do it, because the experience is so enlightening and
It is.
it's so um yeah, it's so enlightening, mind opening, mind
Mm-hmm.
expanding. It's and you meet people, you network,
Yep.
make new friends, you learn stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
educational. And it takes you to a different path of watch
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
appreciation.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah, no, I agree. Paul had an awesome time at New York at Watch Time. Yeah, I mean, we all got together there, a bunch of us, and the camaraderie, the friendships, and meeting people for the first time, that people that we chat with for a while, talking about watches, and then meeting each other for the first time, and then going into a show, and then meeting the likes of Bakari Villon, RGM, going checking out like Armin Strom, and seeing like those kind of caliber of watches. It's yeah, the community. Yeah, okay, thanks, Des. Uh, uh,
Good old
the area. I think we finally got Chaz to fully commit. He's going to Watches and Wonders next year. Thomas has helped me see the light. So Chaz, you're gonna fly to Switzerland. All right, man. Gonna go to Geneva. All right, dude.
do it.
Yeah. Um, well, Thomas, thank you so much for giving us the behind the scenes there. I really appreciate it. It's one thing to read articles on it on Monochrome and Hodinkee and wherever other outlets, and seeing YouTube videos of people who are there, but you were actually there, and to get that kind of like backstage feel, and your opinion, seeing these watches, actually somebody we know actually seeing all these watches,
Yeah.
is truly helpful, and I appreciate
Oh,
you
it's a
staying up
pleasure.
so late
No,
and I know you got to go to work today, um, but I really appreciate it, my friend.
pleasure, my friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, folks, chat. Thank you so much for keeping it going and asking your questions. You really make the show, and I will see you guys on Friday for another stream. Thanks, everyone. Thanks again, Thomas.
Take care, guys.
Have a good night.